Good morning, friends. Good morning, friends. Good morning.
The Buddha in me bows to the Buddha in you.
I've got some stuff to read, but in order to fully receive it, let's do a little meditation. The method here is simple and profound. We breathe in, we know breathing in. We breathe out, we know breathing out. And we hold that again and again. Breathing in, breathing out. We develop mindfulness and concentration all the way into what we in English call tranquility, and there, insight shines bright. That's one way to describe it. But another way is breathing in, you know breathing in, breathing out, you know breathing out. You're not focused on seeing or hearing or tasting or smelling or touching or thinking about the past, the present, or the future. You're focused on the in-breath and the out-breath. And yeah, there will be a distraction. There will be invitations to shift focus away from the breath. It's okay. It's not a sign of failure. It's a sign you are alive. They arise like bubbles, and we touch them gently, these distractions, and they pop, and we return to our breathing. But first I'm going to fix this little baby stupa up. Breathing in and out. Perfect. Just a little bit. Frequently. And that's all these videos are, where I sit there and breathe. I'm just inviting you, whoever you are, to remember we can do that. But you don't need to twist up your legs. You don't even need to sit down to do it. You can walk. You can stand. You can lay down. There's meditation as long as there's mindfulness and concentration. There will be tranquility if the concentration is potent, and insight. And those are the two wings of the bird of Buddhist meditation. Buddhism is not one or the other alone. Both are essential. Both are central. They're interdependent, interpenetrating, and mutually non-interfering, so that one thing can be what it is while the other thing is what it is, while still being totally entangled. And that's interbeing. We find teaching on interbeing from modern teachers like Thich Nhat Hanh, and spread all over the ocean of Buddhist teaching as it has manifested in text over a long history. Buddhism is already many things to many beings in many unique contexts. Buddha Gang is our manifestation of the deep dharma. It's not going to be the same or different, but it will be the same, and it will be different. It will be a continuation, and it will be a unique manifestation, because the world is on fire, said the Buddha. It's always changing. Old situations and beings are always being burnt to ashes. So the world situation, the historical Buddha experienced and taught about, it's totally relevant to our modern manifestation. But the Buddha already displayed this adaptive and flexible way, so that as he coursed through the world at his time, according to the suttas of the Pali Canon even, we find him doing what is called skillful means, expedient means, and adaptive eloquence, upaya kausalya. It's displayed there all across the Pali Suttas. That collection of collections of Buddhist teaching in the Pali language is precious material. I love it. And it's often associated with Theravada Buddhism, and that makes sense. But there is a lot there in that big collection of collections, and not all of it is what we would call Theravada today. Because it's a collection of many streams of teaching already. What happened hundreds of years after the Buddha's Mahaparinibbana? There were monks who decided it was important to preserve the teaching in writing. So they took that huge body of oral tradition and began to write it down. That oral flow, memory and speech over generations. Then things change and the monks see it is necessary to write it down. They translate the Sinhalese oral tradition back or into Pali. So it's not like it was preserved as Pali. It was preserved in other languages. And it's not like the Buddha spoke Pali. So not only are we seeing it through the lens or the filter of Ananda, who remembered all these things and then reported them to the friends, we are also meeting the Buddha through all these other filters. Many filters have arisen as beings have remembered and conveyed the Dharma. Sometimes there is distortion, and sometimes there is skillful, adaptive bodhisattva work. So that now there is a diverse field of views and methods, which are appropriately called Buddhism. They're diverse. You look deeply though, and you see this diversity is just like the surface froth of the great Dharma ocean. Because the surface of the ocean is stirred into waves by the winds of the world, which are driven by dualistic discrimination of individuals and the groups they create, the systems they find themselves entrenched within, either nourishing those systems or dismantling those systems depending on how those systems manifest. Do they cause harm or do they help beings? Are they harmless and helpful for all beings, or are they not helpful and harmful? These things matter because the quality of the karma matters. The quality of the intention matters. The quality of the volition matters. The Buddha said it clear, like, volition is karma.